What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. Today we have some boxes that we're going to open up, and I pre-ordered this set last week, so you probably know what it already is if you've been keeping up with the channel. But first off, we have two gifts with purchases that I got included with this. There's some holiday gifts with purchases, so those are always nice to get. And inside of this big box, we're going to go ahead and open it up, and it is, of course, the 2024 LEGO Museum Modular Building. They released this a month early, which I think is going to be a new normal for the Modular Building series, and I am very excited. Here's a look at the top of the box where we can see the minifigures as well as the Brachiosaurus. So very cool box art on this set. I'm very excited to build this and display it with the other sets. Here's what it looks like with some of the more recently released modular buildings, and let's go ahead and open this guy up. Inside you're able to see another box and several numbered bags. There are 32, I think, in total, 31 or 32 total numbered bags. However, each bag is a lot smaller than usual, so you aren't really spending as much time looking for pieces and trying to sort them too. So I really liked that, and the build actually went by pretty fast. I think in total, this is the biggest modular building ever released, just beating Assembly Square by like 10 pieces, I think. But it took me around 6 hours to complete with 4,000 pieces, which I feel like is not too bad, and I really enjoyed building it. It was a fun build. Here it is after the first few numbered bags where we have the first floor completely finished off. As you can see, it's not really going to fit where I wanted it to, because I don't like how the olive green kind of clashes with the Parisian restaurant's olive green, so I think I'm definitely going to have to move some things around with the LEGO City, but I do think it looks nice next to the Boutique Hotel though, so I think I'll definitely plan on having it next to that. But what's going to go on the other side, I guess we'll just have to figure out. But now we're starting on the second floor of the actual museum, which is probably my favorite out of the two. The first floor has the really cool Brachiosaurus, which is my favorite part of the museum, but the second floor I really like the kind of references to the more classic LEGO themes from the 90s, and then they also have a cool space exhibit where you can see the solar system and lots of other cool details too. And now we're starting on the roof of the actual build, which is really cool. I love the kind of glass ceiling that allows for a lot of natural kind of skylight to come into the museum. And then we also get to work on the top little observatory for the museum curator, which was really cool. And it's actually a minifigure from the 90s Adventurers theme. Who it is, I am not entirely sure, if I'm being completely honest, but I think that's a cool reference to classic LEGO themes nonetheless. And we also got to build a cherry tree, and then there's a little window wiping like lift that you get to put on the side of the building too. And here is the finished product, the biggest LEGO modular building and the new 2024 museum. I think this looks amazing. I love all of the stories outside, like they've got somebody feeding the birds, there's cherry blossom petals on the street, there's the statues which look really nice, there's flowers, a street lamp, and I love this cherry blossom tree. It reminds me a lot of the bonsai tree. We get a printed museum piece, and then we do get two banners on each side of the museum that are both prints. Here's a better look at that lift that I was talking about earlier, and then the roof also looks really nice. I like how they have these little minifigure statues as details on both sides, and the very top also has several skylights which look really, really nice, kind of remind me of the brick bank a little bit. And here's a look at the back of the museum. Very plain, but like you're not looking at it from this angle, but there is a nice little storm drain over here which looks pretty nice, and there's even some bones in the back where we have a dog included. And then here's a look at the kind of curator's office, which looks really cool. And then on the second floor you're able to see some of the space exhibit. There's a little asteroid and there's a little moon-based diorama down here. My favorite part is this model of the solar system, which is really fun to build, and there is a little world map with a rocket ship, and you can even see the Brachiosaurus peeping through the second floor there. And then here is the kind of one of my favorite exhibits. It's paying homage to the classic LEGO themes, and then there's also an anchor on the wall too. And then now we move into the first floor, and the first floor has, of course, your big entrance here, and there's a small gift shop, and then you can see a little bathroom and a office. And what I really like about this is that there's like a step down into both of the exhibit areas, which I really like. You can also remove the Brachiosaurus to get a better look at the exhibits in the dino area. We've got some dinosaur eggs, a saber-tooth skull, and we also have some dino poop fossilized, which I thought was a funny addition to the set. And then now we kind of move into some of the other parts of the museum exhibit. We've got our stalagmite, and we've also got a model of the Earth's core, which looks really cool. And then there's a volcano and there's some pottery. One of the exhibits has been destroyed by the janitor, which I thought was a nice touch to the interior display. And here's one other look at the exterior of this. I really like the museum. I think it looks great. I love those columns. And then here are the minifigures that are included inside of the set. And here's what it looks like in my original placement. So yeah, it looks decent, but like I really don't like the two olive green buildings being right next to each other. So I think we're definitely going to play around with the placement a bit here just to really bring out the details of it. On the back of the box, they have a display next to the Jazz Club and Boutique Hotel. So I'm going to try that out a little bit. So we're going to have to move the Parisian restaurant away from the Jazz Club, which was a placement I really liked, but oh well, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and slide this guy out of its place so we can move the Jazz Club next to the museum. So here's that empty space now. We have moved the Parisian restaurant. I'm thinking I'll move it closer to the Palace Cinema, but I guess we'll see. And here is the museum. Now we're sliding it into place with the Jazz Club and the Boutique Hotel, and here's what it looks like. I think it's really nice. I'm not 100% sold on this placement though, but it does look really nice. Now we just have to move the Parisian restaurant over to a new spot in the Lego City, so we're going to have to slide over literally every other modular building to make space for it, but I think it will look nice next to the Palace Cinema because they were released around the same time, so maybe they'll match up pretty nicely. And you know, I think it does look pretty decent. I'm not 100% sold on the layout, but here is our first layout of many. I'm going to definitely reorganize a lot of stuff in this video, but here is layout number 1, and then I also decided to switch that up because I wasn't happy with it. So here is layout number 2, and I really like having Assembly Square next to the Palace Cinema. I think that looks good, and then we've kind of got the museum centered on the modular street, which looks nice too, but what I'm not happy with is having the Parisian restaurant next to the police station. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. It looks nice, but like it doesn't make sense. Who puts a restaurant, like a super fancy restaurant, next to a police station? So here's another layout that we're going to try out. I think I really like this one the best. This is layout number 3. I've got the Jazz Club next to the Parisian restaurant, which is a nice touch. It's got kind of like this like main city area where you've got like all the things to do over here, and then it's next to the museum. And we moved Assembly Square over next to the Parisian restaurant in the museum. But one thing I don't like about this is you can see like the Assembly Square kind of pokes out a little bit, which looks a little ugly, so I'm not really 100% sold on this one, but I do like it as opposed to the other two. But I think we're going to move it around one more time. This is display number 4. Definitely know in the comments which display option was your favorite. I think I'm going to go with this last one, though. I like having Assembly Square next to the Palace Cinema, and then I think the Jazz Club kind of fits in very nicely next to the Palace Cinema, in my opinion, so I like this placement a lot. And then this way we're also able to keep the Jazz Club and Parisian restaurant setup that I really liked before, and then we've got the detective's office next to the Parisian restaurant, which I think looks really cool. The Parisian restaurant was 2014, detective's office was 2015, so I think they look pretty nice next to each other. They're kind of from the same time period of the modulars. And then we now have the police station next to the museum, and then the museum is next to the Boutique Hotel. So I think this layout makes a lot more sense than the other ones, and I just really like how everything blends together, everything's spaced out nice, and I think nothing really looks out of place with this specific layout. But one thing we also have to do though is we have to post minifigures with the museum because we have to tell some stories. And so I've got Catwoman and Penguin, and I kind of wanted to make an Easter egg to that one level from Lego Batman where you get to ride the dinosaur around the museum. So we're gonna have Penguin on this little window lift, and we've got Robin kind of struggling to catch up with him. We've got Captain America right here feeding the pigeons, and then we have this night guard who is very concerned with what is going on. He's probably gonna get fired. And then we have Catwoman on the rooftop and Batman trying to stop her. I did move Captain Carter to where Captain America was, just to include her in the city. And then I have Lois Lane displayed right here, but as you can see, there's still space for more minifigures, so we're going to try and put a few more over here. We've got some Two-Face criminals deciding to break into the front entrance, and we have Flash and Superman racing, which it's a reference to Superman.
Sorry I'm late. Just woke up 2 minutes ago.
And then we've also decided to switch up the Brachiosaurus and have him on the roof, so Catwoman is like riding the Brachiosaurus and the Batman is chasing after her. So I really liked including the Brachiosaurus in the display because he's kind of just hidden inside of the museum. So now you can see him and it looks more like the Lego Batman 1 video game. So here's a little look at the finished city as for now, and we have the pet shop still up on the very end. I need to change up the minifigures on that display though, and then we do have Diagon Alley. Over here, this has remained the same and probably won't change. I'll just add more Harry Potter minifigures to it. And then it, of course, blends us into the Boutique Hotel, which is one of my favorite modulars, one of the best ones that they have released. And then, of course, the main subject of today's video, we have the museum modular building. I'm really proud of the stories that I was able to tell with the minifigures on this. I might add a few more to it just because it's a big modular building, so there should be a lot of minifigures on it, but I think my favorite has to be the Brachiosaurus that Catwoman has decided to steal. And then I do like Superman and Flash Racing. That's a reference to Superman, the animated series. And then this is right next to the police station. I thought this was a nice placement. You know, if someone tries to rob the museum, well, the police station's right next door. And we haven't changed the minifigures on here, so here's just like a quick little review as to all the minifigures on here. And then we do have the detective's office next to the police station because I thought that was a nice placement too. I like the blue at the end of the detective's office blending in with that purple donut shop color. Really proud of that placement. And then we do have the Parisian restaurant. We've got Mando and Grogu waiting for the bus at on the little bench over there. We've got Pepper and Tony on a date, and then Agent Coulson is just keeping a close eye on them to make sure Tony doesn't do anything stupid. And then we've got Spider-Man 2099 over here. I might move him around. I don't know. I'm not really happy with that placement, but at the very top of the restaurant, we have MODOK fighting some of the Young Avengers and Shuri, so I like this. And then we do have Spider-Man swinging between the Jazz Club and Parisian restaurant. We've got Kate Bishop and Hawkeye watching the Jazz Club show with some pizza and Lucky the Pizza Dog. And then we do have the two Ghost Riders playing outside, and R2 and C-3PO are over there as well too. And then we do have Vulture fighting the Falcon, and then we have Poison Ivy and Batgirl getting into a fight over here. Here's a better look at the two Ghost Riders playing outside of the Jazz Club, and this kind of moves us into the Assembly Square layout, which I really like. I might add more minifigures to this one too, because I'm not 100% happy with the minifigures on here, but we've got the Goat Boat up top. We have Wolverine fighting Magneto on the top of the Assembly Square, and then Spider-Man is fighting Electro. We've got Scarecrow looking out on the balcony, and then as we move to the bottom where the cafe is, we've got Black Widow and Yelena grabbing coffee, Nick Fury, and then we do have the Guardians of the Galaxy facing off against Thanos and Ebony Maw, so that's pretty cool. I like this a lot, though I might make some changes to it in the future. And then the final modular building in the display is, of course, the Palace Cinema, and we have the Justice League going to go see the new Wonder Woman movie, and then we do have Luke Skywalker and Vader and some Stormtroopers seeing a movie, and Joker and Harley Quinn over here, and then we also have the Watcher posed on top of the Palace Cinema. So that's the finalized modular building display, and I have to say I'm really happy with it. I like how everything kind of came together. I will say one thing that was annoying with the museum is it's kind of hard to find that perfect spot for it with your other modulars. It's a great set, but it just doesn't blend in as well as I feel like it should. But another area of the city that I'll go over real quick too, just since we're making a city video, is my Marvel city. Even though I just did a video on this, here's a quick little overview of it. We've got the Sanctum Sanctorum all the way over here with the Gargantos Showdown displayed over here, which looks really nice. I like this a lot. And then you can see Hobgoblin and some citizens on the very bottom floor over here. And then here is the Daily Bugle, where we're able to see MJ falling off the Bugle. We've got tons and tons of minifigures posed around here. Mysterio is at the very top of it. We've got Punisher and Daredevil fighting Sandman. Miles and Gwen are just chilling on the townhouse, and then Jay Jonah is very angry. And then we've got the Chitauri and the Leviathan on top of the townhouse segment of the pet shop. And then here's a quick little overview of all the minifigures I have posed on Avengers Tower. My favorite probably being that Spider-Man Homecoming version of Vulture, but we've got a few other characters posed here and there that I really like. And here is Tobey Maguire coming out of the portal fighting some of the Chitauri foot soldiers, and then we've got Black Widow and Thor facing off against Loki, and then we do have Hulk towards the bottom here. And I really like all of these stories that I have with the Avengers Tower. I don't think I would change anything because I feel like it's as good as it can be, but if I do make improvements in the future, I'll definitely update those. But that is the entire LEGO City. So I'm very happy with this placement. There will be some expansions in the future. I might expand the shelf a little bit to include the Grand Emporium and the Brick Bank, but that is all for today. Here is one final look at the museum modular building. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of my placement and of the museum set down in the comments, but that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye.